Hello, guys, and welcome back to Evolving Living Being. My name is Jenny C, and I'm your host for this podcast. And today's episode topic is going to be the phrase "what if?" And I'm actually very excited for this one because I came up with it in a very random way. I was just walking outside, and I slowly but surely came up with the topic, spoke it out loud to make my words make sense, to make the idea make sense. I wrote it down, and here we are. So it's the phrase "what if?" And the phrase "what if" can be used in a positive or negative sense, but that could be in the past or the future. And it's going to get a little bit confusing when I start using positive and negative, but I'll make sure to explain it. And if you want to pause the video, you can, because I think you should really apply this to your daily life so you can improve your life and build better habits and become a stronger person and not just bring yourself down by yourself. So the phrase "what if" can be like very self-inflicting. Like the negative part of it is just you doing it to yourself. There's nobody outside. There's no external force doing anything to you. It's you using the phrase "what if." And the world of what if is a very bad one, usually, majority of the time. Because although you could use it 50-50 for a good way or a bad way, majority of the people don't use what if in a good way. Enough about the what if. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. Let me explain. So the first bad way you could use "what if" is in the past, but in a positive way. And I know that sounds so contradictory, but bear with me. So what I mean by positive is a positive event. So an example, say you wanted to really get this specific job, and getting a job in itself, that's a positive thing. So you wanted to get that and you didn't get it in the past. Now, it might have probably been out of your control. There might have been some things you could have done differently, but you didn't know any better. And that's just what happened. And that's what happened. So now you're in the present and you start saying, what if I would have gotten that job? Now, getting the job is a positive thing, but you didn't get it. So now you're using "what if" in a positive way in the past. Right? And although the thing was positive, what you're doing is actually bad for you because you're dwelling on the fact that you didn't get something you wanted, even though it was out of your hands. Like you couldn't control you getting that job, So dwelling on the past is not good for you. You're wasting your precious present time and you're regretting and you're overthinking. Overthinking is so bad. Don't let your mind go crazy and thinking. Just stay focused and don't dwell on the past and things that were completely out of your control because you couldn't control that. So that's what I mean by using "what if" in a positive way in the past. Now, the other bad way is using "what if" in a negative way for the future. And I think this is the most important one. And in general, using things for the future, I think, is more important to acknowledge because what you say about the future is a lot more important than what you say about the past because the past already happened. So saying "what if" in a negative way for the future means, say you're gonna go maybe try out this new workout class, maybe you're going to take a new course, maybe you're gonna go on this trip, or maybe you want to get a really good test score. If you start saying, what if I make a fool out of myself at the workout class? What if on the trip I'm not able to talk to anyone, I don't make any friends? What if I don't do well on the course? And what if I fail the test? Well, if you're studying for a test right now and you say, what if I fail? Honestly, just get up and drop the pen because what's the point? Seriously, you cannot doubt yourself. The moment that you doubt yourself, the moment that you don't believe in yourself, what is the point? Because the majority of the time in life, most people aren't going to believe in you. And that's not necessarily that they want to not believe in you, but a lot of times nobody understands what you want to do. Like if you have this extravagant dream or idea, nobody understands it like you do. You know it because you made it up or you came up with it. So nobody knows what you want to do. But if you start saying, what if I fail? What if I don't succeed? What if I this? What if I that? You're done. That's it. I'm sorry. You can't do that to yourself. And I'm not saying that because you say I'm not saying that if you don't say that, to say you don't say that, it doesn't mean you're gonna 100% succeed. But you saying that is already why would you say that? Because the outcome doesn't necessarily always matter that much, but more of the approach. Because things happen for a reason. Whatever outcome happens, that happens in a certain way, and you can get up again and try again. But what you think beforehand is so important. You have to go into whatever you're doing with a good mindset, believing that things will be okay. So those things are both bad. In the past, the positive way, like if you wanted something positive, you didn't get it, now you're dwelling on it. There's literally no time machines. Unless you are making a time machine, then go ahead and try. But you're wasting time, you're hurting yourself by dwelling on the past, you're overthinking. It's not good. There's literally no scenario where it's good because you can't change the past. You can't change it, and it was out of your control. You can't change the past. It's not Great Gatsby. And don't begin something believing that you're going to fail. If you don't believe in yourself, then what's the point? For the future, there's no point. However, there is 2 good ways that you can use the phrase what if to build you up, to help you. And the first one is using what if in a negative way in the past. Again, the negative, positive are getting a little confusing, but I'm going to make sure to describe it on the description. But using what if in a negative way in the past. So, I mean, say you surrounded yourself with a bad group of people, or you made a very bad decision, or you hurt someone really badly in the past. Well, if you say, what if I hadn't hurt this person? What if I hadn't hung out with them? What if I hadn't made this bad decision? Well, then you can conclude what would happen now? What would your life be like now? Well, my life would be a lot better. I wouldn't have made as many bad decisions. I would still be friends with that person. So now you're deducing what would have happened had you not made that decision. And again, you are kind of dwelling in the past in the situation, but this time you are actually focusing on the things that you could have controlled, and you're learning from the mistakes you made, so you don't make them again, because it is very unwise to ignore the past completely. You have to acknowledge the past and realize the mistakes you made so you don't make them again. That's kind of the whole point of history, of everything, of your own decisions, of your own life experiences, and even other people. You just have to acknowledge what you did wrong and work on it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, the positive one in the past, like you could have gotten this job, this or that, well, it wasn't up to you. So there's no point in thinking about that, because you weren't the one that was giving yourself the job. It was the employee, like the one that was employer, that was gonna give it to you. So in that case, don't dwell on it. But this, you did something. Now you fix it. Think about what you did, apologize, fix it, and don't do it again. And my personal favorite one is using what if in a positive way for the future. This is the most perfect one you could use. And there's literally no other one as perfect as this, in my opinion. Here's what I mean. So instead of saying, what if I fail? When your mind starts wandering and it says, what if I fail? You tell it, no, stop. And you say, what if I succeed? What if I succeed? Say that to quiet the thoughts of you failing. And in general, you have a test tomorrow. What if I do amazing on it? Like, what if you do it? And you don't have to answer the question. You just have to say it. Just saying it really changes your mindset. Because as a society, as humans, we're used to being a little pessimistic. And if you say, what if I fail? You're like, oh my goodness, I'm going to fail. I don't know how I'm going to do this or that. But if you say, what if I succeed? I feel like it quiets your mind. It's just like, wait, you're right. What if I succeed? So just stop, focus on what you're doing, and trust that it's going to come out great. Say, what if I succeed? Sorry, I keep hitting the mic. But do it for great things. Like, what if I make many friends in that trip? What if I really like the course I'm taking? What if I do really great? What if I don't make a fool out of myself? Well, I wouldn't use actually like don't use the negative. Instead, say, what if it goes great? This or that. But thinking about the future in a positive way is so good. It's actually, you should do it. I'm not saying if you're going to use one. In fact, you should do it. And another way you could use what if in a positive way for the future is like in habit form. Kind of like challenges, like a curiosity question. So what if I decide to exercise for 1 week straight? No excuses. What if I don't use my phone for 3 days? What if I read 2 books this month? Now you're thinking about things that you could do to better yourself, to incorporate new habits into your lifestyle, and you can answer them too. Like, what if I don't use my phone for 3 days? And you can be like, I'm sure that would actually be pretty good for maybe disconnecting a little from social media. Something like that. Try these things. challenge yourself with this. So say, what if I succeed? Or what if I decide to try out this new thing? There's no way you could do it wrongly. Just do it in a positive way, and it's great. And what I would love to say right now is focus on what you can do in the present to better your future. Whether that is learning from your past mistakes, letting go of things you could not control in the past, or focusing on good things that can happen in the future and incorporating all of that into your present. It's important to live in the present, but learn from your past mistakes and work on things to build yourself up for the future. And to close this episode off, I have a few quotes I found that I want to read to you. They're all pretty much the same, but I'm also going to put them up here. So first of all, we have this quote that says, "What if I fall?" And then after it says, "Oh, my darling, what if you fly?" Which is exactly what I'm trying to say. What if I fail? No, what if I succeed? What if you fly? What if you absolutely beyond succeed? What if you do so incredible that you can't even believe it? Because you don't know. You don't know. And a lot of times you doubt yourself, but you actually do so much better than you can imagine. Never underestimate yourself. You are able to do so much greatness. Another one, what if it all goes right? You should really actually take a picture of this and put it on your lock screen or send it to yourself or make a sticky note. What if it all goes right? You never have to answer the question. You don't. Just leave it there. Just let it replay in your mind in every aspect of your life. It's a great thing to think about. Another one, pretty much the same thing. What if it goes wrong? Oh, but what if it all goes right? That's great. And then the final one, what if I fail? No, cross it out. What if I fly? So they're all pretty much around the same thing, but I think these are all great, and I think you should take pictures of them or something and keep them with you, whichever one you like. Never forget that thinking about you failing is not good. Dwelling on things you can't control in the past is not good, but it is good to learn about the things that you could have controlled, how to not make the same mistake. And it's good to set yourself up for success by believing that you can do it, and even incorporating fun challenges, like what if I exercise for a week straight? Things like that. And that is episode 4 of Evolving Living Being. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I really enjoyed making this episode. I really enjoyed writing the idea of it and just coming up with it. And I hope this helps you. If you have any questions about what I'm speaking about, in more detail, maybe you're a little confused in some parts, comment down below, or you could also email if you have a longer question. And also, if you have something to add to it, or maybe even something you want to rephrase, you can totally do that. Feel free, comment down below, or again, emails up here. And yes, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay positive, stay kind, stay grateful, and God bless you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.